everyone! It's me again, Mariel, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, ayan, kung bago ka pa lang sa aking YouTube channel, ako po ay gumagawa ng mga math tutorial videos from elementary to high school, and of course, mayroon din ako pang senior high, and maybe someday mayroon din tayo pang college. Okay, wala pa lang tayo ngayong mga maraming resources, but then again, I will find ways for you. So, yun na nga, kung bago ko pa lang dito sa aking YouTube channel, and kung matagal ka nang nanonood sa mga math tutorials ko, welcome na welcome kayo dito. And please, wag nyo kalimutang i-subscribe, i-like tong video, and i-hit na din yung notification bell down below. Para naman, syempre, palagi kayong updated kung meron man akong i-upload na mga math tutorials dito sa YouTube. And of course, i-plug ko na din yung aking TikTok account. Ayan, nag-upload din po ako doon ng mga tutorials, ng mga maiikling clips about mathematics and mga math logic. Ayan, and pwede kayong pumunta sa aking TikTok account, ilalagay ko dito. Of course, sa Facebook page na rin. Ayan, so simulan na natin to right after the intro. Okay, our lesson for today is all about factoring polynomials with common monomial factor. And syempre, himayin natin kung ano ba ang meron sa factorization of the common monomial factors para naman mas maintindihan nyo kung paano siya ginagawa. Alright? So, before we start, syempre, kailangan alam muna natin ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng factor. Kung ikaw isang grade 8 students, for sure, meron ka ng background idea from the past or from your grade 7 lessons about factoring. Okay? So, when we say factor, it is a number or an algebraic expression that divides another number or another algebraic expression with no remainder. Meaning to say, ito yung number na makakapag-divide into another number evenly. Walang remainder, walang decimal. Alright? For example, we have here the factor of 8. So, ano-ano yung mga factor ng 8? We have 1. We have also 2, 4, and 8. Yun lang yung mga factors na 8. Why? Kasi 8 divided by 1 is 8. Walang remainder. Okay. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Wala din siyang remainder. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Walang remainder, of course. 8 divided by 8 is 1. No remainder as well. So, yun lang naman yung sinasabi sa atin ni factor. Another example. This is an example of an algebraic expression. When we say an algebraic expression, ito yung combination of numbers and variables like this. This is an algebraic expression. There is a numerical coefficient, there is a variable, and this is of course a monomial. Why is it a monomial? Kasi po, iisa lang siya. Iisang term, and wala pa tayong ginagamit na fundamental operations like addition, subtraction, ganon. Alright? And the factors of 5x raised to 2 or 5x squared is 1, 5x, x squared, 5x, and 5x squared. Why? Kasi when you divide 5x squared to 1, it is the answer. Walang remainder. 5x squared to 5, that is x squared. Wala ding remainder. And so on and so forth. Yun lang naman yung sinasabi ni factor. And syempre, dapat alam nyo muna kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng factor before we proceed to the factorization of the common monomial. Alright? Okay, so we have here an example. We have x squared plus 2x. This is a binomial. Kapag naman ito lang, that is a monomial. Kapag ito lang, it's a monomial. Okay? But this is a polynomial. Alright? So, under the polynomial, there is monomial, binomial, and trinomial. Terms yung pinag-uusapan about polynomials. That's why we are factoring polynomials with common monomial factor. When we say common monomial, merong magkaparehas na factor or common sa dalawang ito na factor. And yun yung gagawin natin, hahanapin natin in able to factor this polynomial or expression. Alright? So, meron tayong susundin ng mga steps. Pwede din namang idiretso na lang natin. Pero for sure, kapag na-memorize nyo na yung mga steps on how to factor, madali na lang ito para sa inyo. Like, pag nakita nyo, mafa-factor nyo na siya kaagad. Okay? So, the first step is to identify how many terms are there. There are 2 terms. Okay? When we say terms, ito yung hinahati ng operation. Okay? Like this one term, and 2 term. Kasi may addition na siya sa gitna. Kaya meron tayong 1 and 2. Siya yung pinaka naghahati sa polynomials. Okay? Bibilangin lang natin kung ilang terms. So, we have 2 terms. Alright? So, for our second step is to determine the greatest common factor of the numerical coefficient. So, when we say numerical coefficient, ito yung mga number na kasama ng variable. Okay? Since we have here 2 terms, so dalawa din yung hahanapan natin, si x squared. Ano ang numerical coefficient ni x squared? Of course, we have 1. Okay? Automatic yan. Hindi na lang natin isinusulat, but then again, meron niyang 1. Okay? And then, ano ang numerical coefficient natin dito sa second term? Of course, we have 2. Alright? And what are we going to do is to find the factors of 1 and 2. And the factors of 1 is, of course, 1 times 1. Kasi 1 times 1 is 1. And the factors of 2 is 1 times 2. Tama? So, there are the factors of 2. Wala na tayong mahahanap pa na dalawang number na kapag pinag-multiply is 2 ang sagot. Tama? From that, mahanap natin yung greatest common factor. When we say greatest common factor, it is the greatest number na makakapag-divide kay 1 and 2 evenly. Okay? So, si 2 kasi hindi naman niya madi-divide si 1. Kaya nga wala ditong 2, right? And when we say common, from the greatest common, magkaparehas or meron sa kanila pareho. So, ano ba yung number na meron sa kanila pareho? We have, of course, 1. Right? Kasi dito, kay 1, wala naman si 2. So, we have 1 as our GCF. Okay? So, for our step number 3 is to find the variable with the least exponent or yung variable na may pinakamaliit na exponent in each terms given. Okay? So, we have here x raised to 2 and x lamang or x raised to 1. Automatic din yan, may 1. Therefore, ano ang ating variable with the least exponent? Of course, si x. Okay? So, kunin natin yan. We have x. Alright? So, for our step number 4 is to get the product of the greatest common factor na nakuha natin from the numerical coefficient and the variable na nakuha natin from the least exponent. Alright, so we have 1 and x. 1 times x, of course, that is x. Alright? And this will serve as our greatest common monomial factor. So, for our step number 5 is to divide the given polynomial with the greatest common factor na nahanap natin. So, how are we going to divide? So, take a look at this. We have x squared plus 2x. And we are going to divide that to x or to the greatest common factor na nakuha natin. So, we have divide both terms. Yan, divide by x. And then, we have, kapag magdi-divide kayo ng variable na mayroong exponent, what are you going to do is to subtract the exponent itself, copy the variable or the base, and then subtract 2 to the exponent of the variables in the denominator. So, we have 2 minus 1, that is 1. Therefore, x na lang siya. Okay? And then, we also have 2x divided by x. Of course, dahil same lang naman sila, cancel na yan. And then, natira na lang si 2. Therefore, we have x plus 2. And then, for the step 6, or the final step, we are going to write the final factored form. So, kunin mo yung nakuha nating greatest common factor. We have x. And then, kunin mo din to or i-multiply mo lang sa x plus 2. We have x plus 2. And that is already the factor of x squared plus 2x. Okay? So, paano siya naging factor ni x squared plus 2x? Kasi, when you use distributive property of equality, that is x times x, that is x squared, and x times 2x, that is 2x. X squared plus 2x is the same with this. Okay? So, definitely, yun lang naman yung hinahanap natin, yung factor nito. And we have x times x plus 2. Ganun lang kasimple ang factorization of polynomials with common monomial factor. Okay, so take a look at our next example. We have 6x plus 3. So, yung kanina, na example natin is, diniscuss ko yung pinaka-detailed. Okay, pero ngayon, hindi na tayo sa pinaka-detailed. Okay na to, dapat alam nyo na yung steps na naturo ko kanina para mas masugutan na natin to ng mas mabilis. Okay? So, we have 6x plus 3 and we have, of course, 2 terms and 2 terms is binomial. Alright? And then, what are we going to do is to factor the numerical coefficient. We have 6 and 3. So, kunin natin yan. 6 and 3. And then, the factor of 6 is 2 times 3. Okay? We also have 6 times 1. And we also have 3 times 2 or vice versa, or 1 times 6 as vice versa. And then we also have 3 and the factors of 3 are 1 and 3 or 1 times 3. Okay? Actually, pwedeng ganito yung gawin nyo sa factorization. Hindi yung mag-multiply. Pwede nyo din gawin yung ano-ano ba yung mga factors ni 6. We have 1, 2, 3, and 6. Yan yung mga factors ni 6. So, pwede nyo din gawin yung kanina kong ginawa, and pwede din ito. And the factors ng 3 is 1 and 3. Now, hanapin mo dyan yung number na mayroon kay 6, mayroon din kay 3. Of course, si 3, di ba? Okay? And kahit hindi na natin gawin to, itong listing method, mahanap nyo kagad from looking at 6 and 3 kung ano yung greatest common factor. Of course, 3 is the greatest common factor. Okay, so when you really understand well the factors of the numbers, madali nyo lang ma-identify kung ano ba yung pinakamalaking factor na makakapag-divide sa dalawang ito evenly or with no remainder. Alright? And then right after that, kunin naman natin yung pinaka-maliit na exponent ng kanilang variable. Since si 6 lamang ang mayroong variable dito, and ang exponent ni x dito is 1, and si 3 is wala siyang variable, hindi na natin sila kailangan pang hanapan ng variable. Okay? Meaning to say, the greatest common monomial factor we have is already 3. Okay? Since 1 to, and ito ay 0, so sino pinakamaliit kay 0 at kay 1? Diba si 0? Therefore, since wala itong variable, hindi na natin siya hanapan ng variable. Ito na yung pinaka greatest common factor natin. And then right after that is to divide 6x plus 3 to the greatest common monomial factor. We have 6x plus 3 divided by 3. Right? And then 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then copy nyo lang yung x. And then 3 divided by 3 is of course 1. Therefore, we have plus 1. So, kukunin nyo lang yung operation na mayroon sa kanya. Since siya ay addition, so addition din yung ilalagay nyo. Alright, therefore, we have 2x plus 1. And then, right after that, pagsamahin lang natin ang greatest common monomial factor na nakuha natin, and ito pang isa pa niyang factor. And then, we have 3, ito yan, times 2x plus 1. Ito naman yan. Okay? And then that is already the final factored form of 6x plus 3. Kasi we have 3 times 2x is of course 6x. And 3 times 1, that is 3. Okay? Ganun lang kasimple. Okay, now take a look at our next example. Ito, medyo complicated, pero wag kayong mag-alala. Madali lang to. Just listen carefully. So, we have here a polynomial 10c raised to 3 or 10c cubed minus 80c raised to 5 minus 5c raised to 6 plus 5c raised to 7. Okay? So, tandaan nyo lang yung mga steps na kailangan natin gawin para mahanap natin sila. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. And then, the first step to do is to find the factors of the numerical coefficient and find the common factors na mayroon sa kanila. So, ito, automatic from the number 10, 80, 5, and 5. Automatic 5 is the common factor. Alright? So, hanapin natin kung bakit. Pero, since si 5 ang pinakamaliit sa kanila, and si 5 lang yung makakapag-divide kay 5, which is madi-divide niya din si 80, and of course si 10, of course 5 is the greatest common factor of 10, 80, 5, and 5. Right? Pero, gawin pa rin natin yung listing method. So, we have 10, 80, 5, and 5. So, pag-isahin na lang natin yung 5. And then, the factors of 10 is 2 times 5. Factors of 80, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Why? Because 2 times 2 is, of course, 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. Times 5 is 80. Alright? And then, we have 1 times 5 in here. So, ano yung number na common sa kanila lahat? Or meron sa kanila lahat? We, of course, have 5 in here. Tama? And yung kaninang 5 natin, of course, meron din siyang 5. Diba? So, sabi ko sa inyo, from looking at it already, mahahanap nyo kagad kung ano yung factor kahit hindi na kayo gumamit ng listing method. Basta alam nyo lang or gamay nyo na yung mga factors ng mga numbers. Okay, since we have 5, so kunin na natin si 5. Ayan. Remember, the goal is to find the greatest common monomial factor. Alright? And then, since we have here c cubed, c raised to 5, c raised to 6, and c raised to 7, just identify the variable with the least exponent. Since etong c raised to 3 ang merong pinakamaliit na exponent, which is 3, therefore, kukunin na natin si c raised to 3. Okay? Ganun lang, kasimple. So, di ba from the variable itself, kukunin lang yan natin yung pinakamaliit na may exponent. Ganun din dito sa numerical coefficient. Parang hahanapin na lang kung alin yung pinakamaliit na value sa kanila since 5 is the smallest value. So, there's a possibility na that is already the factor or the greatest common factor. Pero, sometimes, hindi ganun yung situation. So, dapat nga, alam nyo na kung paano ang paikot-ikot all about factor or factorization. Alright? And then, since we have that, 5c raised to 3, wait lang, erase lang natin ito. The next step is, of course, to divide. Right? So, we have to divide to 10. Divide also. Divide. And then, divide. Sa lahat ng terms, i-divide natin. Okay? And then, we have 10 divided by 5 is, of course, 2. Right? And then, c raised to 3 divided by c raised to 3 is to cancel them. Alright? And then, kunin mo lang itong minus. So, we have yan. 80 divided by 5 is, of course, 16. Ilagay mo lang. And then, c raised to 5 divided by c raised to 3. Remember, when you are going to divide variable with exponent, you are just going to subtract the exponent itself. So, kopyahin nyo lang yung pinaka-base, which is c. And then, 5 minus 3 is 2. Right? And then, of course, we have 5 divided by 5, cancel the 5. And c raised to 6 divided by c raised to 3 is c raised to 3. Kasi 6 minus 3 is 3. Alright? And then, this one, plus, cancel lang din si 5. C raised to 7 divided by c raised to 3, that is c raised to 4. And then, for the final factored form, kunin lang ulit natin si 5 c raised to 3, and then just ilagay lang natin etong nakuha natin kanina. So, we have 2 minus 16c squared minus c raised to 3 plus c raised to 4. That is already the final factored form of 10c cubed minus 80c raised to 5 minus 5c raised to 6 plus 5c raised to 7. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Okay, so I have the assignment for you. Etong number 4 natin. We have 3n cubed minus 12n squared minus 30n. So, comment your answer sa ating comment section below and I'll check it kung tama ba yung sagot nyo. So, definitely that's it for this video. Thank you so much everyone for watching and I hope is natutunan nyo sa akin kung paano ba mag-factor ng polynomial with common monomial factor. Okay, thank you so much everyone and see you on my next video. Sagutan nyo tong assignment ha. I-check ko yan sa comment section natin. Alright, so always remember to make your day productive by gaining knowledge. Again, it's me, Mariel, and see you on my next math tutorial.